Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So I know this is a few days late, but this is essentially my sort of thoughts on the Chelsea Wolves match that happened on Christmas Eve. That obviously everyone knows ended Wolves 2, Chelsea 1. That was really just a shocking performance and just quite a frustrating result in the end. So anyway, back to the start. We basically lined up in a kind of 4-2-3-1 with obviously Petrovic in goal because we have no Sanchez, Gusto being back again, with Disasi, Thiago Silva, and Levi Colwell. A sort of midfield of Conor Gallagher and Leslie, no Caicedo as he's injured, and no Enzo as he's also injured, with Palmer just in front. And then we had Sterling, Jackson, and Broja as our front three. And it started off quite well. First 20 or so minutes, I'd say, Chelsea looked really dominant. They looked confident. They looked like they believed in themselves. They dominated the ball. They were creating chances. Wolves didn't do anything. I mean, they couldn't really do anything because Chelsea were just in complete control of the match. And it was shaping up to be frustrating, but there wasn't any major issue with the team so far. And then the most frustrating and just unacceptable moment from Sterling happened. Obviously, Sterling nicks the ball off the Wolves player, maybe halfway between the halfway line and the goal, runs up, and then Chelsea have essentially a 3 versus 1. They have Sterling on the ball, they have Palmer to his right, and then Jackson just slightly further to his right. And all they had in front of them was the Wolves goalkeeper. Sterling is running with the ball. All he has to do is pass it to Palmer or Jackson, who may have been offside, we don't know. But if you just pass to Palmer, it's an open goal, easy finish. Chelsea go 1-0 up, and they probably comfortably win that match. Instead, what happened is he, for some reason, wanted to be the hero, I guess, because instead of passing and having an open goal, he just shoots it straight at Jose Sarr. And it's a comfortable save in the end. And Chelsea miss, once again, such a massive opportunity. I mean, it was disgraceful. For a person who came out in an interview recently that he said if he had the opportunity to square it, if his teammate was in a better position, he said he would. It's a really frustrating situation. Chelsea should have scored then and had a comfortable win. But instead, they mess up a 3-1. And then obviously Gallagher had a shot a minute or two later, and but was straight at Jose Sarr. But no, Sterling, I mean that was an absolute disgrace. And in my eyes, what should have happened then is straight after that, he should have been taken off. If this was Jose Mourinho, who was the manager of Chelsea, or even Thomas Tuchel, after Sterling did that, I am 100% convinced that they would have just taken him off and put him on the bench for the next game as well, because that you cannot waste such a massive opportunity like that. You cannot mess up a 3v1. You can't. It's just shocking, and essentially it has cost Chelsea in the end. And then we essentially get to the end of the first half. I mean, Chelsea had like 62% possession, 8 shots on goal, 2 on target. But I mean, they had a few big opportunities which they just completely squandered. And then you go into the second half, and it's kind of what Wolves wanted. They wanted to get through the first half as much as they could do, and then the second half they can try and score a goal or two. And the way that Chelsea have been, we seem to miss so many opportunities in that first half, come out in the second half, and we were always worse. And we were a lot worse this time around. It was our defence were making mistakes. I mean, Thiago Silva, a player who I've always been a massive fan of, slips on the ball. Chelsea were lucky not to concede from that. There was a corner that comes in, which Chelsea again luckily didn't concede from. And then I think when was it? It was straight into the second half. Even it was at the 51st minute. It was a Lamina goal. I mean, it was just it was disgraceful defending. The ball comes in, and Lamina doesn't even have to jump. He just stands still. The ball comes over to him, heads it, and it's a very easy finish Petrovic had no chance. Petrovic, I will just say, was probably our best player. Made a couple brilliant saves, and he's improving. He seems that he's probably going to improve every single game. But I think it was Leslie who was supposed to be marking Lemina, and it was just absolutely atrocious defending. No one jumped for the ball. Lemina just stood still, easy goal, 1-0 Wolves. And at that point, when Wolves went 1-0 up, you just knew that there's no way this Chelsea side were going to get back into it. They just have not got that in them to just consistently come back from being 1-0 down. And they should easily have been at 2 or 3-1 up. And then you have Nkunku coming on and Mudryk coming on. And Nkunku changes how Chelsea looks straight away. Chelsea look a lot better. They look a lot more direct with him and Mudryk on. Nkunku almost scores within the first few minutes. Obviously, it was a clearance off the line. But he just looks so much better than the rest of our attack. He's clearly going to improve us straight away. But yeah, he looked a lot better than the rest of this attack, which was great to see in some ways. But anyway, so right at the end of the match, Badiashile in the 92nd minute gets an assist. Not for a Chelsea player, but essentially a ball comes into the box and it hits the back of Badiashile's heel. And it just gets us set up perfectly for Matt Doherty, who just puts the ball away. Wolves are then 2-0 up at 92nd minute. There's still like another 8 minutes left, but you know the game is done. It's just shocking defending from Chelsea. But then a few minutes later on, Sterling gets the ball, and Nkunku is in the box, header, goal, and Nkunku scores on one of his first matches for this club, which is brilliant to see. And there's still 5 minutes. There is still 5 minutes left of added time. There's still enough time to create something else, and Chelsea do nothing. They do for the next 5 minutes. For the next 5 minutes, they do absolutely nothing, and it ends up just kind of fizzling out and being a 2-1 defeat. And it's ridiculous because before going into this match, all the teams above Chelsea, none of them extended the lead they had on Chelsea. So if we'd won that match, we would have been 5 points off 6th place. 5 points off a Europa League spot would have been more than believable that we could still get Europa League. Instead, we're now, after the matches yesterday, how many points are we behind 6th place? We're 9 points behind 6th place, obviously with a game in hand. But it's just, it was an absolutely atrocious result and atrocious game. Our next match is tonight, obviously, against Crystal Palace. That is a must-win. It's at Stamford Bridge. We have to win now. We're now 11th in the league. We've got Bournemouth who are ahead of us now. Bournemouth are 3 points ahead of us. That's how bad we are. Bournemouth are 3 points clear of us right now. Brighton are 5 points clear of us. We are now level on points with Wolves, only 1 point ahead of Fulham, who are in 13th, and 3 points ahead of Brentford in 14th. But obviously, they have a game in hand. This match tonight is a must-win. We have 2 games left of the year. We have Palace today, and we got Luton on the weekend. Chelsea have to win both those games, and then we start off in a new year against in the FA Cup and in the League Cup. And I think we may have Fulham in January as well. And again, even more obvious, again, we need to buy a striker in January. I've heard that we've been linked with Osimhen again. Not sure that's going to happen, but yeah. So tonight again, playing Crystal Palace, have to win it, and I'll be doing a post-match review tomorrow morning. Anyway, guys, again, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all tomorrow when we've hopefully gotten a must-needed win.